Are you crying because of what he said or seeing him? What is upsetting you?
He's lying, and he's been lying for so long.
Some Hollywood parents didn't lose their kids to distance. They lost them to damage. Brad Pitt's children have quietly dropped his last name. Tom Cruise hasn't been photographed with his daughter in over a decade. And Ryan O'Neal, he once hit on his own daughter at a funeral. Yeah, these are Hollywood heavyweights who ended up estranged from their own blood. Let's start with a name most people link to legendary performances, Jon Voight. He exploded onto the scene with Midnight Cowboy, took home an Oscar for Coming Home, and stayed booked and busy for more than 5 decades. On screen, iconic. But off-screen, as a father, that's where the story shifts. Voight married actress Marcellini Bertrand in 1971. They welcomed James Haven in 1973, and then a daughter named Angelina Jolie in 1975. From the outside, it looked picture perfect. Behind closed doors, not so much. Voight later admitted his own infidelity shattered the marriage. By 1976, when Angelina wasn't even 2 yet, the couple had split. The divorce was finalized in 1980, and Bertrand was left to raise both kids largely on her own. She did so until her death from ovarian cancer in 2007 at just 5'6". Meanwhile, Voight was building a career, but missing the everyday moments that actually build a relationship. And that kind of absence, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers. Angelina has openly talked about feeling abandoned, about the emotional gap her father left behind. By the time she became a global star, she had already removed Voight from her professional name. And that wasn't random. That was intentional. There was a brief reconciliation in 2001 when they appeared together in Lara Croft Tomb Raider. For a second, it looked like maybe, just maybe, things were healing. But then came 2002. Voight went on Access Hollywood and publicly claimed Angelina had serious mental problems. On national television, that was the breaking point. Angelina called the comments unforgivable. In September 2002, she legally dropped his surname for good, and the two went into a 5-year stretch of zero contact. And just like that, one of Hollywood's most respected actors became another headline about a father his daughter couldn't forgive.
Your relationship with Angelina has been described as rocky. How would you describe it today? Are you guys on good footing?
Yes, we're back on track.
And even when it looked like fences were being rebuilt, something always pulled them back apart. The reunions never seemed to last. Over the years, they've gone from cautious reconciliation to icy silence. And most recently, politics poured gasoline on old wounds. Voight, an outspoken Trump supporter, publicly criticized Angelina Apta. She spoke out about the Israel-Gaza conflict in 2023. He accused her of being influenced by what he called anti-Semitic rhetoric. And just like that, the divide wasn't just personal anymore, it was ideological. A battle that started when she was still in diapers now had a whole new front. Now, speaking of Angelina Jolie, you can't tell her story without talking about the man she built a life with for over a decade, Brad Pitt. And when it comes to estrangement from children, Brad Pitt's situation might be one of the most heartbreaking in modern Hollywood. Pitt and Jolie weren't just a couple. They were a global phenomenon. Together, they...
Yeah. How about your dad? Is he going to come and visit? Do you want him to come and visit?
The answer said everything. It wasn't emotional. It wasn't complicated. It was just no dot. And when the reporter pushed, asking if the relationship was basically over, the response didn't soften. It doubled down.
Whatever happens, happens. Are you happy here? How are you settling in? Yeah?
As of 2025, Brad Pitt has little to no relationship with his adult children. One by one, the distance became public. Shiloh Jolie legally removed Pitt from her name the moment she turned 18. Zahara Jolie Pitt introduced herself at college as Zahara Marley Jolie. Vivienne Jolie Pitt appeared in a Broadway playbill simply as Vivienne Jolie. And then there was Pax Jolie. A resurfaced 2020 Instagram post allegedly called Pitt a terrible person, who made his siblings tremble in fear. That post alone reignited everything. 6 kids. 6 growing distances. Meanwhile, the legal war over custody and the families. Chateau Miraval winery still drags through the courts. The headlines haven't stopped, they've just evolved. Now if Brad Pitt's estrangement unfolded slowly, piece by piece, Tom Cruise's separation from his daughter feels structured, almost intentional. And the reason? One word: Scientology. Cruise and Katie Holmes welcomed Suri Cruise in April 2006. For a few years, Suri was everywhere, arguably the most photographed celebrity child in the world. Then came 2012. Holmes reportedly blindsided Cruise with divorce papers, allegedly using burner phones and her father's legal strategy to map out her exit quietly. The settlement? finalized in just 11 days.
Katie has mentioned that she is embracing or at least exposing herself and opening herself up to Scientology.
That speed wasn't random. In a 2013 deposition, Cruz acknowledged that Holmes' driving motivation was protecting Surrey from the Church of Scientology. Former members like Leah Rimini have spoken about the church's disconnection policy, where members are expected to sever ties with anyone labeled a suppressive person. After Holmes left, she reportedly fell into that category. And by extension, so did Surrey. During that same deposition, Cruz admitted he had only seen Surrey about 10 days within a 5-month stretch following the divorce, including roughly 110 consecutive days with zero contact. At one point, he attended a Scientology event in Florida. Instead of traveling to see her in New York, their last publicly confirmed sighting together was in 2013. Since then, silence. He reportedly missed Surrey's 18th birthday, her high school graduation, her move to Carnegie Mellon University. In TNA 24, she changed her name to Cerie Noel, dropping Cruz completely and adopting her mother's middle name. Raised Catholic by Holmes in Manhattan, far removed from Scientology's influence. Sources say she wants no connection to her father. As of early 2026, there's still no verified contact, though insiders whisper that Cruz may try to communication. And then there's Woody Allen. Few estrangements in Hollywood? History are as heavy or as controversial as the fracture between Woody Allen and his daughter. Dylan Farrow. Got it. I'll keep the tone dramatic and documentary style, but shift the Hopkins section into a more reflective, redemptive, and emotionally mature direction instead of leaving it cold. Here's the positively reframed version. Now, let's talk about Anthony Hopkins. On screen, he's one of the greatest actors of all time. To Oscar's decades of unforgettable performances, a career most actors only dream of. But when he speaks about his personal life, there's one chapter he approaches with humility: his relationship with his daughter, Abigail Hopkins. Hopkins married actress Petronella Barker in 1966, and Abigail was born in 1968. But at the time, Hopkins was battling alcoholism, a struggle he has openly admitted nearly destroyed him. In 1969, when Abigail was just 14 months old, he left the marriage. Years later, he would describe that moment, saying goodbye to his sleeping daughter, as the saddest memory of his life. But here's where the story shifts. In 1975, Hopkins got sober, and he has remained sober ever since, a milestone he often credits with saving his life. He never made excuses for the damage. Instead, he's spoken candidly about his regrets and the pain of lost time. There were attempts over the years to reconnect. Abigail even appeared in small roles in a few of his films in the 1990s. While they never built a traditionally close father-daughter bond, the door was never completely slammed shut. In interviews, Hopkins has reflected on fatherhood with honesty, rather than defensiveness. When he made comments in 2018 about not knowing whether he had grandchildren, many saw it as cold, but others saw it as a man acknowledging the consequences of his past choices. Behind the headlines, there have reportedly been quiet efforts to reach out. His wife, Stella, extended an invitation for reconciliation, a gesture that suggested healing was at least possible. And in a 2025 interview, Hopkins didn't double down on distance. Instead, he spoke about acceptance, growth, and taking responsibility for the life you've lived. Not every family story ends with dramatic reunions. Sometimes growth looks like accountability. Sometimes redemption is personal. And in Hopkins' case, the narrative isn't just about absence anymore. It's about a man who changed, owned his mistakes, and continues to hope that time can soften what once felt permanent. If you want to waste your life being in resentment, fine, go ahead. Get over it. When Anthony Hopkins said that, reactions split instantly. Some heard tough love from a man who conquered addiction and refuses to live in regret. Others heard a father minimizing the pain he once caused. Either way, the distance between him and Abigail Hopkins has remained. Now let's shift to another global icon, Jackie Chan. To millions, he's the fearless action legend, the stunt king, the comedic genius. But behind the blockbuster persona is a father whose relationships with his children have been anything but smooth. His son, JC Chan, born in 1982 to Taiwanese actress Joan Lin, grew up with a father who was constantly filming around the world. Chan has admitted in his 2015 memoir that he wasn't present the way he should have been, describing himself as not a good husband and not a good father. When JC was arrested in Beijing in 2014 for marijuana possession, Chan publicly expressed anger and disappointment, saying he was heartbroken. By late 2025, he acknowledged they hadn't spoken by phone in over a year, a quiet admission that the bond still needs work. Then there's Etta Ng Choklam, born in 1999 from an affair with former beauty queen Elaine Ng. Chan has rarely addressed that chapter publicly. Etta has said plainly that she does not view him as her father and has spoken about feeling unsupported. In 2017, she came out as lesbian. By 2018, she and her partner shared a video claiming they were homeless due to homophobic family rejection. In 2022, she was reportedly seen seeking assistance in Canada, all while her father's fortune was estimated in the hundreds of millions. As of early 2026, there are faint signs of possible contact, but decades of distance don't vanish with one conversation. Now let's talk about Bill Hudson. Once a member of the 70s group, the Hudson brothers, he's now better known as the estranged father of Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson. Hudson married Goldie Hawn in 1976. Oliver was born that year. Kate followed in 1979, but by 1980, the marriage ended. Actor Kurt Russell stepped into the father role and, by most accounts, became the steady presence in their lives. Bill claimed Goldie made it difficult for him to stay involved. Tensions simmered for years. Then in 2015, Oliver posted an old childhood photo captioned, "Happy Abandonment Day." The post
Bill responded in a Daily Mail interview, saying he considered Kate and Oliver dead to him and encouraging them to drop his last name. It was messy, public, raw. But time has a way of softening even decades-old wounds. Around 2018, Oliver quietly reconnected with Bill after 12 years of silence. By 2024, Bill said the rift was healing. Kate has remained more reserved, but has stated there's no hatred, only complicated history. Took 40 years, but at least the conversation restarted. Now Eric Roberts. He earned an Oscar nomination for Runaway Train, but addiction nearly derailed everything. His daughter Emma Roberts was born in 1991 to Kelly Cunningham. At the time, Eric has admitted he wasn't capable of being a stable parent. He didn't pursue custody, acknowledging he was still deep in addiction. His sister, Julia Roberts, supported Kelly during the custody battle, creating tension between the siblings that lasted years. Emma was raised by her mother and went on to star in projects like American Horror Story. Eric got sober in 1995 and has spent decades trying to rebuild trust. In a 2024 podcast, he spoke openly about lingering misunderstandings and admitted Emma prefers he not discuss her publicly, a boundary he struggles to keep. Their relationship isn't fully broken, but it's delicate, a bridge still under construction. And then there's Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus in The Matrix, Ike Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It, one of the most respected actors of his generation. But his relationship with his daughter, Montana Fishburne, has been nearly non-existent. A story shaped by public controversy, painful choices, and a father who openly disagreed with the path she chose. And that fracture? It played out in front of the entire world. Here's a polished, slightly refreshed rewrite of your last section while keeping the dramatic, gossip-driven tone, but tightening flow and language for clarity and engagement. Since 2010, Montana Fishburne and her father, Lawrence Fishburne, have been completely estranged. At just 19, Montana made a decision that shocked her family. She entered the adult film industry. Inspired by Kim Kardashian's rise via a sex tape, she filmed it secretly after turning 18, ensuring her parents couldn't intervene. After the news broke, Fishburne allegedly told her over the phone, "I'm not going to speak with you until you turn your life around. You embarrassed me." Montana's subsequent years were turbulent. Arrests for alleged prostitution, multiple DUIs, and a felony for slapping a police officer. She retired from adult films by 2013 and has tried to rebuild her life. Yet the rift with her father remains unresolved. Fishburne has stayed publicly silent, neither confirming nor denying the estrangement. As of recent reports, they have no contact. Then there's Ryan O'Neal, whose family story is perhaps the most chaotic on this list. His relationships with children Tatum O'Neal and Griffin O'Neal were marked by addiction, abuse, and incidents so bizarre they seem unreal. Tatum became the youngest Oscar winner ever at age 10 for Paper Moon, co-starring with her father. Yet she later claimed he was jealous of her success, physically abusive on set, and even introduced her to drugs at 12. Griffin made similar accusations, alleging Ryan gave him cocaine at 11. Perhaps the most infamous moment came in 2009 at a funeral. Ryan, who hadn't seen Tatum in years, reportedly didn't recognize her and hit on her, asking, Want to get out of here? He later admitted to Vanity Fair that he regretted some of his children. Ryan O'Neal passed away in 2023 at 82. In his will, he disinherited Tatum, Griffin, and even Redmond. Tatum's response was icy, "Keep it, mother." Griffin learned of the burial through the media, a family fractured beyond repair. Next is Richard Dreyfuss, Oscar winner for The Goodbye Girl, known for Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Behind the fame, his 3 children, Emily Dreyfuss, Ben Dreyfuss, and Harry Dreyfuss, have been estranged since roughly 2022. The tension began in 2017 when Harry publicly accused Kevin Spacey of groping him. Ben, managing Richard's Twitter, posted support, which allegedly triggered a separate harassment